Wow, this has been a great day of hunting, Lou.
You said it, George. Only thing we didn't do is actually shoot something.
Can't harvest a buck first day of hunting season. That's a waste of time. What would you do the other 9 days?
Stay in that nice, warm cabin? Play cards? Or just maybe go out and sneak a second buck?
That's enough of that. There will be no poaching on my watch.
You ain't a forest ranger anymore, George.
Still and all, gotta follow the rules.
I know. I was just joshing with you.
I don't know why I hunt with you every year.
Maybe on account of my having the most secluded little cabin in the woods, sitting right on the edge of my uncle's property. The best deer hunting in Minnesota.
I suppose that might have something to do with it. Say, what's for dinner?
Barb sent up her sloppy Joe mix.
Ooh, that's for me.
And a bag of salad, I think.
You go right ahead with that rabbit food. We predators will stick to eating what comes natural.
I've seen Barb's sloppy Joe recipe. There's not much natural about it. I'll get a fire on.
Good. Colder in here than it is outside.
Check the fridge for those sloppy Joes. I think they're in a glass bowl.
All right. You say a glass bowl?
Yeah, that's right. Used up so much of the plastic, she didn't have any left. I swear that woman sends more food every year.
Well, she's a Minnesota girl. Knows what hunting season is all about.
Playing cards and eating too much.
Right. And occasionally shooting at a deer.
And missing, in your case.
Har har. Where the heck did you say those sloppy joes were?
Right there in the glass bowl.
What shelf?
Middle, I think.
Ah, here it is. If it was a snake, it would have bit me, as my grandpa used to say. I swear, my eyes are...
George? George! Did you just drop the sloppy joes right on the floor? I swear to God, if you spilled a whole supper all over the...
You see it?
What? Who is he?
I don't know. I've never seen him before. Have you?
No. Older fella? 60, at least.
Yeah. Reminds me a little bit of a friend my dad had. Mr. Lewis?
I remember Mr. Lewis.
Sure, we all did. He taught PE at the elementary school. Don't think this fella is Mr. Lewis, though.
Well, tough to tell with his face like that. Does look to be a hunter, though. Wearing orange and dressed for the weather.
Yeah, just one problem.
What's that?
It's awfully hard to sight a rifle with your face blown clean off. And I still say we have to hike out and get the police.
Not until we figure out what happened, George.
What does it matter what happened? There's a dead man on the floor. We need a lawman or two around here.
We'll call them. We will. Just keep your head. Think about this. What happened to him?
Well, isn't it obvious? We've both seen enough gunshot wounds to know he took a round in the face.
All right, then where's the gun?
What?
If he was shot, where's the gun? He's dressed like a hunter. He looks like a hunter, but there's no rifle anywhere.
Yes, there is.
Where?
There are 2 rifles, yours and mine.
And that's just the problem I have with this setup. We call the cops in, they're gonna have us in cuffs in 5 minutes.
Well, I don't know about that.
You were a ranger, George, and you told me more than once that being a ranger was just like being a cop.
So?
So think like a cop. You come into a cabin, dead body on the floor, died of a gunshot wound, and the 2 fellas that called it in, that's you and me, claim to have no idea how he got there. What would you do if you were a cop?
Well, I suppose I'd cuff them and bring them in for questioning.
That's what I'm saying. To anyone else, this looks suspicious. Beyond suspicious. They'd lock us up in 2 shakes, and even if we were acquitted, everyone in town would look at us different from then on. Probably wouldn't even sell us a cup of coffee.
Well, all right, smart guy. What do you suggest we do?
Well, ground ain't too froze yet.
What did you say?
I said the ground ain't too froze yet. We could dig a pretty good-sized hole and we'll...
No.
Just think about it.
No. We are not going to bury him in the woods.
Just think about it. If we call this in, that's it for us in this town. We don't have a story to tell the cops, and if they see the things the way they are, they won't have any choice but to lock us up. On the other hand, we don't know who this guy is, and we don't know where he came from, and we don't know how he got here.
So
we don't owe him a thing.
So we bury him in the woods and just go on with hunting like nothing happened.
Why not?
If I have to explain that to you, there's no hope.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's supposed to mean that man over there is a human being, Lou. He's a person with a family, probably. We can't bury him in the woods.
I suppose we can't leave him out for the scavengers, then?
No, we cannot.
Well, that's it, then. Been nice knowing you, George.
I'll be quiet.
You know as well as I do the cops won't have a choice. Victim of a hunting accident, no rifle nearby except for ours, and we have a crazy story about just finding him on the cabin floor. They'll lock us up and throw away the key. Our rifle's compounded. That gun belonged to my grandfather, you know?
We're not disposing of the body. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt to figure out what happened before we hike out and get the authorities.
What do you mean?
You know, figure things out. Do a little detective work. Try and learn what happened.
All right. That's real sensible, George. Where do we start?
Well, I suppose the first step is to figure out who he is. Probably has ID on him.
Probably does, yeah.
Well, go check.
Me? Why not you? You were the professional.
Not at frisking dead bodies, I wasn't. What's the matter? You squeamish?
We both are, George. That's why we're way over here across the cabin where the table blocks our view of the body.
All right. Let's go over there together.
Fine.
After you.
Fine.
Now, don't disturb anything. Just look for a wallet.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
He's just on the other side of that table.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Whoa,
Where is he?
He's gone. The dead body on the floor is just gone.
George?
Yeah?
What time is it?
It's about midnight.
Yeah, too late to hike out now, I suppose.
I suppose we could try for the logging road. Go the long way around. I wouldn't try to get through the swamp to the highway on a night like this.
No, that makes sense. Do you think we should leave?
Do you?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure why we stayed. What were we expecting? That he'd come back?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Let's not talk about it.
We've got to.
No, we don't.
No, we've got to, and you know it. You want to talk as bad as I do.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Don't I? We could have took off when there was still daylight, but you wouldn't. You spent all afternoon snooping around the cabin, trying to figure out what happened. And in the end, you didn't figure out a single thing. Now we're stuck here.
I told you, we could try for the back road.
Back road's no better than a path, and there's snow coming in now. We'd run into trouble out there.
It's not that bad.
Oh, yeah? When'd you last see it?
Last year, about this time.
Right. So there could be all kinds of branches on it, dead trees, and who knows what. We'd never see them in the dark and break our necks.
Yeah.
There's something you're not telling me?
What?
Is there something you're not telling me? You look like a kid caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We've known each other our whole lives, George. What's up?
It's nothing.
All right, it's nothing. So go ahead and tell me.
It's crazy.
So it would fit perfect with the day we've had so far. What's on your mind?
Well, there's this story.
Yeah?
Story got told around the ranger station a lot. We talk about a lot of crazy things away from the public. Stuff you wouldn't believe.
Try me.
You ever heard of the story of the dead ghost?
The what?
I knew it. Never mind.
No. Seriously. Tell me.
Well, the story was a ranger back in the 80s was investigating reports of poaching when he found this guy outside of his cabin gutting 2 deer with another 3 already processed to one side.
I take it he didn't have a tag for any of them.
No, he did not. So anyway, the ranger tries to confiscate the deer. The guy takes exception and pulls his rifle. Ranger tries to de-escalate, but the guy's all excited. Things got out of hand.
Ranger shoot him?
No, he backed off. But when he came back with the sheriff and reinforcements, they found the guy laying on the floor of his cabin. His face shot clean off. Self-inflicted.
Jeez. Over some venison?
The story was, he was more than just a poacher. The cabin was full of cocaine, weed, all kinds of things. He'd been smuggling into and out of Canada for years. Good church-going guy with a family, too. If he'd went to prison, he would have lost it all.
All right. Interesting true crime story, but what does it have to do with us?
That's where it gets weird. He didn't stay buried.
What?
Story was, a couple hunting up by Lost Lake saw him lying on the floor of their cabin. Another group saw him again a few years later. Same as us. Just found him there. Then he would disappear. We started calling him the dead ghost, because that's how he appeared to people, as a corpse. At least, at first.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, you sure you want to hear this part?
Yeah, sure.
He comes back, Lou. He comes back, face blown off and all. He comes to the cabin he appeared in and starts knocking on the door. You don't answer it, because if you do...
What? What happens if you do?
No one knows for sure. But we've had folks disappear in the park before. Cabins stocked, cars gassed up. But they're just gone. And worse.
Jeez, what do we do?
We stay. If he comes, if someone knocks on the door, we don't answer it. We have to sit through the night and listen to him knock. But we don't dare answer it. Understand?
Understand. What's that?
Hold still.
What is that, George?
Quiet. Don't answer it.